Hey guys, I'm Lonie,
And I'm Lisa.
and this is
A Whole Mom.
A Whole Mom is dedicated to those of us who are dealing with the everyday struggles of adulting while also being a whole mom. So we're still in February, so today we're getting back into dating, love. We're also going to talk about love languages today.
Yes.
But first, we're going to just do a little check-in. How are you today, my friend?
Also, before I check in, this video is dropping on a Tuesday because A Whole Mom Mondays is no longer a thing. We're on Tuesdays now. Help us come up with a cool name for Tuesdays. Anyway, check in. I'm good. I'm feeling good. This week was weird, but I did a lot of reflecting this week.
Okay.
On sort of like where I was and where I am now. And courtesy of my therapist.
Do you
And
feel proud?
I do. I feel good. So the conversation was basically that I still have anxiety issues, but I handle them a lot better. And I'm able to kind of talk myself through those moments and like understanding the root of that. So
Lisa has identified her triggers and warnings.
Booyah.
Yay.
Okay, what about you, friend?
I'm doing okay. I think that I have made some progress. It may be a setback or two, but I feel pretty good.
Okay.
I think I feel mostly good about my boundaries.
Period.
As always. How I'm growing and just discovering myself, and then, dealing with those places that I haven't dealt with before or haven't done as much work with. So I feel good about that. I'm feeling accomplished.
The theme of the week is growth.
So we're going to talk about a mom win. What is your mom win?
I don't have one. I just, I thought of doing the mom win, and then I couldn't think of a mom win that I had from this week. You go if you have one.
So I was thinking earlier, I think my mom win over the past few days is just saying no.
To these kids?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think because, my kids are spoiled and they really get everything that they want. And so we've been in the house like all weekend. And, I ask for simple tasks to be done. And when you give me attitude about that, I don't appreciate it. And so we've had several conversations.
I'm looking for the fan remote because it's getting cold.
We have had several conversations over the weekend just about, doing your part. Because I also noticed, and like my kids and I, we've had these conversations before. If I leave the house and I come back and a minor task like put the trash on the curb has not been done and it's been an hour or two, I'm irritated.
I feel it.
My son said Saturday, he was mad at his brother. He was like, see, because you had to have an attitude, now look, we got to do this. We got to do that. But however, we turned it into a little family moment. And so I don't buy a lot of snacks. And so what we did was we made the snacks. So we had some brownies, pig in a blanket, and then tacos. And so everybody was responsible for preparing one thing. Yes.
That's nice.
So that was nice.
I do. My mom win is these kids having some real chores, like consistently needing to do them.
Yes.
So I made, for some reason this morning when I woke up, the thing in my head was like, get these kids together. Yes. So I made a list of, they only really have 2 chores each. So like unloading the freaking dishwasher. One doesn't like to do the forks and knives and utensils, and she'd rather do the plates. So she does the plates. The other one does the utensils.
Okay.
And then my youngest is responsible for clearing the table and like vacuuming the rug under the table every day. And my oldest is responsible for cleaning up the living room.
That's great.
In the evenings. Because I was like spending all this extra time downstairs at the end of the night straightening up. I was like, I ain't even do this.
Girl, we getting these kids together.
Girl, and getting ourselves together in the process.
Right. I actually wrote out one of my son's schedule throughout the day because I was like, we got to get it together.
This too much.
He needs a little more structure because
yeah,
I just feel like things have been chaotic. So I do it for work.
right.
The kids I work with. So, all right, we need a new schedule routine. So I'm going to write it out. We're going to go over it. And this is what your schedule is. We know it's going to not always be to the T, but for the most part, this is what we're following. So
I'm with it, friend.
Yeah.
I need to do that next because anybody got time.
Yes.
Okay, enough about us. Let's talk about Malcolm and Marie. Oh, my hands are dry.
If you guys have not, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a new movie that is on Netflix. Malcolm and Marie, starring Zendaya and Denzel Washington's son. What is his name? Daniel?
No. Why don't I know his name? I know his name.
I forgot.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Somebody said he looks like his mama, but he acts like his father. We'll figure it out.
What is it? We need his name. Oh my gosh, I know it. David something Washington?
It's probably Daniel, like I said.
Is it Daniel? You think it's Daniel? It's David.
Is it David? John David Washington.
John David Washington.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, a movie on Netflix starring Zendaya and John David Washington. I should have known his name.
Yes.
And that's it. So some people say that knowing the background helped them appreciate the movie more because there was only like a cast of 12, or not a cast of 12, but a team of 12 people that did this. Like early on in the pandemic, Zendaya reached out to the guy that writes and directs for what's the show she's on HBO?
Oh, Euphoria?
Yes, Euphoria. And she's like, I need something to do. Let's work on something. I'll put some money into it. When John David Washington got involved, he put some money into it. So they pretty much produced and like did this thing.
I didn't know the background.
Yeah.
So is that from her character in Euphoria because she struggles with drug abuse?
Right.
Addiction. Oh.
I don't know if it was supposed to be her character, but
maybe kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the background. She was like, "Can you write something?" And he was like, "Bet." He wrote it. They like got some in this COVID era, got 12 people together and did it. So initial feelings.
I really thought it was good. It was great.
I liked it.
Very well done.
Very mixed reviews, but I liked it.
I did, and I probably liked it for maybe the wrong reasons. You know what? I honestly liked it because it was definitely relatable for me. And there was one point, and I'm gonna tell y'all, when he sat down to eat that mac and cheese and started like going in on her, like it triggered me so bad. And I was like, oh my God. And then I just dived in after that because I do feel like it was a little slow in the beginning. Right. And so like leading up to, I was like, why is she fixing this box mac and cheese? Why does he want it? Like they just you just came from a movie review, like facts. Box mac and cheese? Facts. They could have stopped at Wawa.
Not Wawa. I feel that. I felt I think because I knew the story behind it, like I didn't expect it to be immediately like grabbing. So I was like ready to roll with it and kind of see what this roller coaster was. Okay. Because I read a lot about it before I even watched it.
I had no idea. I didn't read about it. I just saw, this black man and this black woman. Right. You know, everybody was thinking like it's a love story. Or something. They just gonna go through some trials and tribulations. Yeah. They were a hot mess.
What was it? I think what kept me the thing that I related to immediately was her clearly having an attitude as soon as she walked in the door. Like, at the very beginning, when they walk in the door and she walks in front of him, like, she's still getting this mac and cheese that he obviously wants, which is probably like a guilty pleasure for him. but she clearly has an attitude.
Right.
Like, she's walking way far ahead of him from jump. And then he, like, doesn't even realize it. And I was like, how many times have I been there? And in my youth, not said anything and just had an attitude.
Right.
And he just was oblivious, and he just kept talking about all of the things, and she was just like short with him and not really responding. When he was talking about like college educated people, she was like, Malcolm, you have a college education. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like, it was clear that she was annoyed, but he just wasn't. I don't know if he was oblivious or if he was just trying to ignore it and like hoping that it was going to go away.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Probably.
I also felt like I put myself into it. I did. And so I was like, sis is over here like cleaning. She clearly has an attitude, but like, how often do we get an attitude, or do we have anxiety and we're cooking or cleaning something? So I'm like, okay, she's doing something to keep her busy. She really mad. We do that. I'm going to make sure he eat, but I'm pissed off.
Yeah, because she could have totally just came in and been like, make your own damn mac and cheese.
And go to sleep.
I'm out. But she really was making that mac and cheese. You're really mad about the box.
Yes, it blew me. Because why y'all didn't just get a Hot Pocket? Y'all didn't have the kind that you microwave or something?
Maybe he's into
Who is into boxes?
Some people like it. My kids, well, my youngest
they probably like those little bowls, though.
Yeah.
That's different.
Is it different?
It's quick.
Okay. Enough about the mac and cheese.
I'm going to bring it up again.
I feel like it was definitely real.
Yeah.
It felt very real. Having been in a toxic relationship before, I have been in a never-ending argument. And it was funny, but it was also like, yup. Because like when it seemed like they had gotten over it, and then like he was like kissing her and like they were joking.
Yeah.
And then something triggered her again, and she just like got up, and I was like, back.
The part, go ahead.
Because I was like, she seemed crazy. Like on the outside looking in, you're like, she's nuts. But I know what that feels like.
How many of us have been her? In the part where they were in the floor and they were about to have sex and he leaves.
Yes. He was like, don't move.
He was like, don't move. Like, basically, don't get into your head too much because he already knows how she is. But at the same time, like, have you ever been there?
Been there. I was like, soon as he said,
anyways,
bro, soon as he said he needed to go to the bathroom, I was like, mistake. You're not getting any tonight, sir. You're done.
She just like, she lay there and she cried. And it really broke my heart. At the same time, like, just to watch someone struggle. It was really hard to like literally watch someone struggle with depression like that. Even though like we walk around and we see people like that every day.
Time.
But to the way that it was depicted.
The way that it unfolded.
Yes.
Was like, because in the beginning, I really thought it was going to be about him cheating on her. Because the first thing he said when she mentioned the actress that like played the main role, he was like, I didn't cheat. I was like, oh, he cheated.
And so how much of that was her projecting because she had cheated on him several times before with just like random people.
And she didn't even say, I didn't say you cheated. She said, I didn't ask. She kept on, he was like, I didn't cheat. And she was like, I didn't ask.
How many times do we not ask? And that's a problem.
I ain't never been one to not ask.
I have definitely been somebody that don't ask.
That's
an issue.
Because that'll eat me up.
Right. I have died on the inside because I didn't ask. But that stuff will pile up. And when I explode.
Just like she did. And we. It seemed crazy.
I'm glad that we have grown because I definitely went through a toxic stage.
Girl.
Toxic relationships.
I ain't never been toxic personally. I've just been a part of toxic things.
You being a part of that toxic thing like that?
I be trying to help them be better. You feel me? It's not
and
me.
that's toxic.
I had something. Okay, I wrote some notes, guys. It was something specific I wanted to ask about. Okay, because that's what I was gonna say. In the movie, I think I definitely sided with her more, just because it was clear she was upset and she was not trying to ruffle no feathers at the time. He kept pressing her. He was also verbally abusive, obviously.
With the mac and cheese.
Yeah. Once he started going, I was like, okay, hate him.
He didn't go in like that until he got that mac and cheese. He waited till she finished fixing that mac and cheese and went in on her. And it just blew me. I was like, is he really saying that?
He did. He was disrespectful.
Oh my God.
And then when, the bathtub scene, God.
That,
oh Lord,
killed me.
Oh Lord, every part of my body I just got chills.
He was like,
he was so disrespectful, and it was so unnecessary. And the fact, because I think I wrote that down.
Which part? The part where he was talking about like all his different lovers?
Yeah, when he was like, I could hurt you 10 times worse.
Right, like he just tore her to pieces.
And as far that was the point.
Telling her like how much she didn't even love herself, or she couldn't believe that someone else loved her.
And see, the thing with that part was that was supposed to be the nice part.
Right. Ugh.
I also, at the same time that I recognized that he was abusive, and I do think that he thinks he loves her. Mm-hmm. As much as I wanted her to get out, I also identified with like some of that resentment that he had. Mm-hmm. And the reason that he stays is not necessarily anything that they have today. Just like from listening to him talking about like how he's been there for her and what they've gotten through. Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel like we overcame this thing together, or we grew through this, like this trauma bonds? Mm-hmm. So often.
But what was his trauma? Because hers was addiction and drug abuse.
I think that he felt, for whatever reason, when she was going through her addiction,
why did he feel the need to save her?
One. This movie left me wanting more detail.
Yeah, I needed more from that part. But continue.
But I kind of like that it didn't answer all the questions, and it left like this space for you to, like, it didn't even answer, are they going to break up? Like, what happens?
Right.
At the end. But so it leaves a space for you kind of imagine on your own, and probably bring your own trauma and your own baggage into that imagining. But I think from his perspective, he felt like and maybe he felt like he created her, right? Right? Like he built her into this person that she is today.
She was an actress. Was she an actress before?
I don't know. They don't talk about that.
I don't remember that part.
She stopped acting though.
Right.
But like maybe he feels like when he met her, he saw this potential in her, and she felt like it was what he saw in her was a story for his movie. Mm-hmm. But he saw this potential in her, and now he feels like I've pulled this potential out of you, and you are this person now, and so I'm going to hold on to that because of all the work I did. And
I made this investment.
I've been there. Right. I've stayed in a bad situation because of the time that I had already invested. Mm-hmm. And then I just wasted more of my time because it was a bad situation. Definitely. And I should have been gone.
Definitely. Yeah. And then your ego is like the audacity of this person not to do right by me.
After I've done all of this,
not to thank me at this award show that I have basically been behind the scenes, and it's also about me.
But his thing was, I've stood by her through everything. Her sleeping with my friends, her being a drug addict. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been by her through all this. If I didn't love you, then I wouldn't still be here.
And then she was by him through the whole process of the movie, too.
And him treating her like
toxic.
Food. It was toxic, and they both needed to leave.
Yes.
I feel like he was more so the villain in this movie, but I understand how he got there.
Right.
I'm not excusing his behavior, but I understand how he got there.
I think it was because he just the first time he was verbally abusive to her like that at that table with that mac and cheese
that came out of a box.
That, I think that's where everybody was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that set the tone.
What?
And then when he came in when she was in that bathtub and said, oh, no, the reason he even went there was because she said, like, his movie was immature or something, like, she called it lame. She called him lame in some way.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, well, since you're trying to hurt my feelings,
girl,
I could hurt yours 10 times worse.
Oh my God.
And that,
I definitely been there.
see, I have always been the type of person who would rather just get over this than keep arguing. So I don't be trying to really in the argument. But I know people who do that. And clearly my friend is one of them.
I used to.
Was one of them.
I used to.
She's recovering.
And, you know, I definitely, like, I had to apologize later on down the road. We went back and forth.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. Oh, my God. Thank God for growth. But, yeah, like, it's so, that part was so triggering. It was so triggering.
It was a rough watch, but I enjoyed the authenticity of it all.
Because I feel like it also, well, for me, it made me think like, gosh, I'm so glad that I'm not that person anymore, that I have grown and that I don't tolerate these things anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Because it was like, girl, get out. Leave now.
And why? Why do people stay in situations like that?
That was one thing that I was thinking about a lot too, because I was like, on the outside watching this unfold, it was like, clearly this is toxic and terrible and nobody should want to be in this relationship anymore. But
we're saying y'all need to leave, even though we've been there.
Right. And I think thinking about those moments where I've been in that, there's so much emotion and so much like crying out to be heard and understood, right? That's really what's at the root of it all, is that you just want to be understood. You want this person to really get where you're coming from, but y'all just are talking in circles. And there's a second where like you're both listening, but then something either comes out wrong or is received wrong.
And then you got to get defensive.
And now you're back in it.
Yes.
It was so real. I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, the problem is solved. Everything's solved. And now we're fighting again.
All night long.
Yeah. And I also kept thinking, if he had thanked her that night, would any of this had come up? Like, how long was she going to hold on to all of these feelings that she vomited?
I feel like at some point it was going to come up. Even if he thanked her, there was going to be something else that he would forget to thank her for, or just not appreciate her for.
Right.
And so,
but it seemed like he had been that way anyway. Like he wasn't the most appreciative person.
Right.
Or I guess it just wasn't shown in a way that she received it, which is a perfect segue into love languages. But
I feel like I also felt some type of way. The whole fact that she's still in recovery, right? Mm-hmm. And so as he was drinking, like around her, in front of her, that kind of, I had mixed feelings about that. So
I didn't even think about that.
I was like, that doesn't help the situation. Like,
right. And now you're drunk. It was an intense movie.
It really was.
I thought about watching it again because it came out like the 5th or something. I thought about watching it again before we recorded, but I was like, I don't know if I could.
It's hard.
Yeah. I think the first time, because I was like, what's going to happen? And all those times where he was like, Marie, it was twice. And he didn't know where she was.
That triggered me so bad. I don't mean to yell, but God, Why are you calling my name? Why can't you do anything for yourself? What do you need me for? Marie! Marie! What?
Wow. I didn't even think of it like that.
Oh my God. Have you
I was
never
more
been
so,
with a needy person like that?
I have. But in that moment, I was more in his shoes, like anxious, worried, like, where are you?
At?
Yeah. And like, there's nowhere
God.
for you to go to because we're in this house in the desert. Like, where are you?
A coyote guy.
Yeah, like I was concerned. I was like, oh my gosh, she's dead. That was me, but you was like,
you ever hear from somebody calling your name and you just act like you don't hear him? Okay.
My friend has been through me.
I really have.
Oh God. Where you what?
Marie?
I was worried. I feel you.
She alright? She just somewhere trying to catch her breath. God.
Yeah. Marie. My friend is so stupid. Okay. All right. Enough about Malcolm and Marie before we get triggered.
Oh God. It's great.
Love languages. So let's get into love languages. And to segue, a part of, like I said earlier, why I think they couldn't get on the same page is because they weren't speaking the same language. Like, the way that he felt he was showing appreciation was not how she received that. And vice versa. Like, it just wasn't working.
I think because so often we try to love people in our love language. So we're doing things that we would want someone to do for us. And I think that's okay to a certain extent.
But we have to consider that
like when you're trying to love someone and be in a healthy relationship that just requires so much selflessness.
Yeah. It's like the basic way to think about love languages is like when you're teaching your kids how to buy gifts for family, like, we're not going to buy grandma a PlayStation, right? Like, you would like a PlayStation, but she does not necessarily want that.
Right.
So we have to consider her and what she is going to like.
That means paying attention to your partner.
Exactly. So that's why love languages are key, basically, because the way that we receive love is not the same for everybody. And so when we're considering our partner, our friends, the people we care about, when we want to do something special for them or be there for them in a special way, we have to think about what means something to them, because it's not the same for everybody. So starting off with there are five love languages for those of you who are unfamiliar.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Gifts.
Gift giving.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Quality time.
Quality time.
And physical touch.
Physical touch. Okay, friend. Look at you. All right, so do you want to talk? Oh, so we both recently did our love language quiz.
Well, mine is
and we gave them to the kids. Okay.
Because I forgot to redo it. But I feel like it's still the same.
I redid mine. Because mine, I redid it at 3 months into the pandemic, and I realized that it was changing. And so I did it again, and I think it changed even more. But, so do you want to talk? You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
What my top is quality time.
Okay.
After that is acts of service. And so I did my kids, and one was quality time, and the other one was acts of service. But we all... those two were in all of our top.
They're all similar. So look at y'all. So how do you feel like, as far as dating, because we're talking about dating and relationships this month, how do you feel like your love languages your top two have affected your relationships and your perceptions of people in your or not necessarily your relationships, but as far as like people you've dated, do you feel like Because you said yours is, what's your top? Quality time.
Acts of service is very
Or how do you feel like that affects your dating?
Acts of service is very close underneath that. Mm-hmm. So for me, quality time, I'm a very busy person. And so I need somebody that's intentional and puts forth effort. I think that's like the simplest way to put it. Like, put some thought into it.
Yeah. So, like, when y'all are spending time together, it needs to mean something. And, like,
yeah. I mean, but also there are definitely going to be, like, those spontaneous moments where we're just like, let's have a movie night tonight or something like that. But
it's hard for you to plan time with people, so don't be, like, on your phone.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, because sometimes I'll get on my phone. But if I know that...
My friend is raggedy.
No, not like I'm going to spend time. If we're watching a movie, we're watching a movie. If we're watching a show and maybe it's a commercial break, I might. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm a pretty present person. Unless the movie is boring.
I feel that.
And then I just can't get into it. And so...
I'm out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? I did recently watch a movie with someone, and I was just like, why this person pick up this phone? And the movie was good, and I'm sitting over there like, it's quiet. This movie is good. I wouldn't be on my phone. And I just notice certain things, so yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like, because I feel like you talk about, like, plan a date a lot.
Plan.
Which I feel like that's necessary, period. But I feel like it's very important.
That is very important to me. Plan something. Because that lets me know that you put forth some effort. Like, you thought about it. Like, I like this person. She deserves A, B, C, and D. So let me do something. Mm-hmm. I'm also, a lot of my friends call me extra.
Tell me more about this, friend.
So I just feel like I need somebody to treat me extra.
And there's nothing wrong with
also, show me off. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying like post me on social media and all, because I like my privacy. I'm also, if we're in a relationship, I'm also not saying don't post me. But I'm crazy like that.
If you are interested in dating my friend and you are confused right now,
these are conversations that we gotta have conversations. But I just need to feel like it's real. So be direct with me also. Let's communicate and talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into mine. So my
come on, friend.
My top, it has always been and probably will always be, Lord, I'm sorry, y'all, because y'all know I be writing stuff down. What?
Are you an acts of service?
It's definitely acts of service is my top. But physical touch is the one that has been running up.
Really?
Yeah, and
my friend likes to make out.
I do like to make out.
I'm sorry, I'm spilling her tea.
But physical touch has been slowly gaining on acts of service. Like,
really?
A few years ago, acts of service would be like 70%. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's been the pandemic that's done that, or I don't know. But, so, I took it a few days ago. Acts of service is 37%. Physical touch is 30%.
Wow.
Yeah. And then quality time is 20%. And words of affirmation and gifts are both 7%. I'm not really checking for that. So my thing is, my anxiety is rooted. It's rooted in me often filling my plate too much, or just like, because my brain is everywhere all the time, I don't necessarily get everything done like I need to. So having somebody to help me do things is like, oh my God, I love you.
It is. Like, when you come home and you don't have to do something that you typically would have to do, or if somebody said, I'm grabbing dinner, just come home or something.
Yeah, if I'm not already in love, I love you now. If you do something for me to make my life easier,
yes.
OMG, over the moon. You can have it all. So yeah, that's definitely me. And then physical touch, I am a touchy-feely person. I've probably been a touchy-feely person for fairly long. I've always been a hugger, but like I've realized more so over the years that like when I am around someone that I'm romantically interested in, I want to touch them. Like I want to be like here, I'm here.
When you like them and you're interested in them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not touching
if I'm
everybody.
not, don't touch me.
Factos. But like I'm a cuddler. I want to cuddle. Snuggle. I want to be up in here. You can be up in here also. You feel me?
I'm with it.
I want to like. I'm not going. If it's my boo, we together. If we sitting on the sofa watching a movie, we up in
down.
here.
We curl down.
You feel me? We in here.
Yes.
So definitely, maybe even if it's the third date, we up in here.
Yeah.
I like
if you like the person.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with laying on them, cuddling with them, whatever. Give me a hug. I like a hug.
I love a hug.
And last time I did my test, my physical touch was 0. But that's because all the other stuff is way more important.
See, my physical touch is up there. I need a hug. And one of the questions was like, would you rather have like, I don't know, it was something else, but then it was like, or somebody to like touch you and let you know that like they understand how you're feeling. Like that,
Especially when it's from an older black lady.
I want to cry, bruh.
When an older black lady, it's something about it when she rub your back and call you sugar. The
put that hand on the knee, honey. Oh, one time I hugged somebody. I think it was at church. I hugged somebody and they was like, "It's all right." In my ear when they gave me a hug. Oh God!
Did you cry?
I just burst into tears immediately.
Girl, they felt it. You needed that.
Ugly cry. Oh Lord, I think I had to stay an extra 45 minutes.
Oh my God!
But
I had to speak a word over your life.
That was all it took.
Hallelujah.
But like that, I was like, oh yeah, that's in a shock through your system. Would they put their hand on you? Yeah.
It's a quickening in your spirit.
My friend knows. But yeah. So physical touch is up there. Words of affirmation and gifts. Y'all too, I don't need you.
Really?
Don't need you at all. First of all, the only question that I answered yes to regarding a gift was something like, if someone gives you a gift and it's clear that they like it was well thought out or something like that, because gifts for me always lead to disappointment. And it's not, I try to show my appreciation and I really appreciate the thought of someone giving me something, but it often is not what I need. And I think me being an acts of service person, I'm very practical about everything. Like, honestly, at this point in my life, the only reason that the few reasons that I would want to get married.
Let's split these bills.
To split these bills. Somebody to help me around the house. Someone who is more knowledgeable in areas that I am not knowledgeable in. Yeah. Is like what I need. If he's like a carpenter, a mechanic, a doctor, or if he knows and has access to these people, like that's important. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm just really practical. So giving me like flowers and candy I'm not checking for that.
I don't need the candy, but I don't mind.
I don't want no flowers. Give me a new mop.
A plant.
Give me a new mop. Give me a vacuum. Like, I I just need things.
Don't give me a mop or a vacuum.
I know.
Unless it's something that I said, oh, I want this steam mop over here.
Yeah.
Randomly, but not for like, don't give me no mop for no Valentine's Day.
I literally want things that I can use as my gift all the time. Like, that was an issue that I have run into with a few people that I have seriously dated in my life, is that they want to give me things that I believe are generic gifts. Like when you walk into a store in February, all of the things that are in the front.
You want that effort. It's the effort behind it.
It is the effort behind it, but I also, like, I need you to get things for me. I need you to understand that, like, I am a practical person. I appreciate practical gifts. You getting me a Gucci bag is one, going to leave you feeling like I'm unappreciative. Because you're going to be like, well, if I would have bought anybody else a Gucci bag, they would have appreciated it. Like,
but
all this money I put on this bag. Right. So then you're going to be in your head like, I don't appreciate what you did for me. And two, it's going to leave me and my anxiety thinking about all of the other things that we could have spent that Gucci bag money on.
Oh, definitely. But that your person has to pay attention to you. If you're not like a handbag and shoe type of person, then why would they get that for you?
Yeah, I just
pay attention to your person.
It's definitely about paying attention to your person. Any time with love languages, but I just feel like give me a maid service to come in and clean the crib.
Bruh, that is like, for a mom, that is like the ultimate. Or for me, I'm going to pick the kids up from practice today. You can have the night off.
That's what I was about to say. Give me a day off.
We're going to go do something.
Facts.
You have the night to yourself.
As much as I would love whomever I potentially end up spending my life with, I don't know, like, having the Valentine's Day to myself would be a perfect gift. Like, let me go spend the whole day by myself. You handle all the things, and you come meet up with me later on tonight. Like, that's cool. But like, to have a free moment, that would mean so much more. Yeah. For you to handle all of the things that I generally have to do, and I am usually stressed out about.
The maid service was dead on.
Girl, have me walk into the house and ain't no crumbs in the floor.
Listen, somebody mopped the floor for me one time. Oh, when I walked into the house and I smelled it and saw it was just crispy white. Oh my God. It just did something for me.
It really does. It's
It's a turn on, actually.
It is. And it's because my brain is so consumed with all of the things.
Yeah.
And I've really gotten into, like, not necessarily arguments, but like, I've had issues with people I've dated because they felt like, you didn't even like that? Like, what? And I'll be like, thanks for this purse.
That does make me think of some gifts that I've gotten in the past.
Yeah, it just be so.
I did feel like it was more so like their thing.
Facts. And that's the thing, like, you can have it.
And maybe I've given gifts like that before too.
That I definitely have. It just burns me up for you to just not even know me. I just be feeling like, so you don't even know me.
I have given you like what? One gift? One birthday gift?
Are you looking at my picture?
You wasn't supposed to notice that.
I like this though. This is this is an affirmation.
So I bought my friend, it's a little plaque.
Yeah.
Because like I read it and I was like, oh, this reminds me of my
Yeah,
friend.
see, that's thoughtful and sweet.
Okay.
But
I knew she liked it when she put it on her wall.
She's so annoying. That was sweet.
That for me, that does it for me.
What? Tell me more.
When I know that I have done something for somebody else and they really liked it and appreciated it. For me,
that's what you. I feel like that's it for me too. Cause I be trying not to cuss. I'm the type of person. Cause I was about to say I'm a mug. I'm the type of person that is like waiting for everybody to open their gifts.
Cause you're the person that puts the thought into it, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So for someone to say to me like how much they appreciate me and like why, even when you're doing just what you feel like is okay, like that's what friends are for. Like we are in some type of relationship, whether it's friendship, a romantic relationship, whatever, a sisterhood, whatever. When someone says, I really appreciate what you did for me, and that could have been, you holding my hand through a difficult situation.
See, somebody holding my hand.
To cry in your lap one time? I'm pretty sure.
Trying to bring up old stuff. Yes, friend, you cried in my lap.
I cried in her lap before.
We have shared many intimate moments.
That right there.
What a day that was.
I love you long time. When look, cause I don't cry.
Facts. Facts. My friend do not be crying like that.
So when someone is there for me in that way,
and I think part of that has to do with like you feeling like you have the space to cry, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think I just can't get with the and words of affirmation. Please, like
because my friend believes in herself, so she don't need y'all to believe in
No, it's really like this is an issue that I have talked to with my therapist as well. I talk about my therapist a lot, but one, I'm gonna take it wrong. Period. So when you be like, wow, you did a great job with such and such, I'm gonna be like, exactly. So you thought I was gonna suck?
Oh, my child is like that.
Bro, I immediately get like
one of those.
I immediately side eye all compliments because I feel like they are telling me low key that they underestimated me.
Oh. So when you give other people words of affirmation, are you doing that to like build them up? Because
this is not therapy.
Is that like
this is not therapy?
A slick?
No, I don't be being underhanded, but I just be feeling like
we do it with our kids. We really do because we're trying to increase. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just be feeling like I feel microaggressed every time somebody gives me a call. Like, oh wow, you're really smart for a black girl. Like that's not what they saying, but I just be hearing that. You know what I'm saying?
So
and not necessarily.
When you looked at me, you didn't think I was this smart, huh?
Exactly. Every time I feel like, oh, so you prejudged me and thought this, and now you feel the need to give me this compliment because you realize that your prejudgment was incorrect. Every time I get a compliment, I'll be like, F them. Imagine you telling me I did a great job with something and me being like, this stupid son of a, like, I really be so mad.
Now I'm trying to think of any time.
Now, when people I know, it's usually not that bad, but I just be feeling away. And then I also just feel like
I'm breaking it all down in my head. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Everything personally.
I'm not going to say it out loud. No.
Oh, you trying to break? Oh, okay.
Because I'm imagining who is saying what that person. I'm imagining what that person look like. Who is saying that to you? We gonna keep going.
Like, I know my friends I think it's a race thing, but it's not always white people. But also words of affirmation. I just be feeling like talk is cheap. I feel like
she needs to ask.
People will say anything. So
let me see, because you read your percentages. I'm listening.
But yeah, that's okay. So the kids. They didn't have a test for, I think, under 9. So I kind of just asked my youngest some questions. And then just judging off of her, like actions and stuff, I feel like physical touch is really high for her. But it's funny because it has to be on her terms, which is how it should be for anyone. But she's very, like, you're not going to run up and hug her. You're not just going to come in the door and give her a hug. Like, it has to be very much in her control if you're, like, touching her or giving her a hug, giving her a kiss.
Does she have to initiate?
Yes. But I have noticed, like, when she's upset, she'll just be like, Mommy. And, like, reach her hand out to me. And that she wants me to come embrace her. Or she'll be like, Mommy, hold me. Like,
I was getting ready to hold you.
And this child is a big 6. She looked like an 8.
I would hold like,
I
will rock her like a baby.
And I do.
I rock my 15-year-old.
Yeah. And or she'll 16. Like, she wants to snuggle in the bed and stuff like that. So she's very physical touch. My oldest did take it. She's 11. Where did I write hers down at? Let me flip through my little chart here. Did I get it? I thought I wrote it down. Did I not write it down? Hers was quality time. That was her highest one. And then physical touch.
Y'all some touchy-feely people.
We is. That's weird. I guess, like, we begat children who have like similar things to us. Yeah.
I mean, my oldest now, he will tell us, why are you touching me? I don't like when y'all touch me. And I just be trying to figure out, like, what is that about? And so, like, you know, I'll walk in his room and I'll be like, hey, Jay, like, how was your day? And he'll tell me and his dad, like, I don't understand why y'all always touch me. But, you know, his dad, he touches like this. And he's very firm and he's always playing. And so I'm thinking, like, dang, your dad spoiled it for me too.
Yeah, he ruined it. He messed it up.
But he will, you know, he'll come and give me a hug. And, you know, when he sees me, maybe he hasn't seen me in a couple days or he's leaving, he'll give me a hug. See you when I get back. And he's also very much so, I'm going to wait for my mom. I'm going to wait for my mom at the hood of the car until she gets all of her things out of the car because I have 1,000.
Girl.
Or the other day, he, like, waited for me at the door of the car. And, like, we both walk in together. Of course, he lets me walk in front of him.
Lay does that. She's so, I'm like, she's so sweet, girl. She be on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my top was quality time with 33%. The acts of service was 30%. So that's very close. Oh,
yeah, yours is really close.
Then receiving gifts was 17%. Words of affirmation was 20%. My physical touch was 0%. If I don't know you, don't touch me. Or, you know, like you're just getting to know me, don't.
I don't mind. But like, long as I feel like we cool when I like
if
you.
If we cool, then cool. But, and I mean, like, once we have established that we're cool, I'm with the touchy-feely. Because, once I start liking you too, like, I'm touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Like, I want to touch you all the time.
Yeah, that's me, dog. I remember this dude I don't know if seeing, let's use that word. But we would like see each other regularly, but it wasn't like a secret, but it was just like not the space to be all upon someone. But then like when it was like date time, I was like, oh, I've been wanting to hug you all day.
Right?
Like I was so excited. I was like, God, I just want to touch you. So I'm very touchy-feely. In that, I do remember though, I'm trying to think like when I started being more touchy-feely. And the thing that pops in my head is this, because I get these like vignettes and I like envision my life. It's this scene from my life where when I started theater and all the kids in theater were really touchy-feely. And I don't know if it's just like, because we changed clothes in front of each other, and I don't know if it was like that thing or if it was just like we're touchy-feely. And I'm gonna be honest, initially I thought it was just a white people thing. I was like, white people always all over each other. But I remember these kids like mind you, this is high school. I'm in like 11th grade or something. But we were like standing off in the wings to the side on the stage, and like one person's in charge of the curtain, but somebody was literally behind her just like holding her waist.
Oh yeah, because the thing is heavy, right?
No, they were
Not
just standing there snuggling.
Oh.
And I was like, that's weird. But like now I would love that.
How many black people do that?
I really was like, white people are so weird. Like really after I started theater, I was like, white people are so weird. But
then you like it though.
Yeah.
You
and
admire it.
Maybe I'm a touch
like,
white.
okay.
Maybe I do got a little white in me.
I got some white in me. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be up behind somebody.
I was like, this is friggin' weird.
I will definitely do this, though. I like this.
This is cute.
I like this.
this.
I have, like, walked through the mall with my friend. Maybe I'll put my hand in her. I will hold my mom's hand.
Aww.
I will dance with my mom.
That's what I was going to say earlier, too. But those kids behind in the wings were, like, literally standing up spooning. But anyway,
that's weird.
The other thing that I thought about was my upbringing was not touchy-feely. So it's funny that my kids are like that now, and they always want to be snuggled, like and they always want to be cuddled. Cause like I don't remember ever being like, hold me, cuddle me,
and I was the opposite. Like, we used to kiss our mom goodnight, like, every night, up until we were teenagers. And then we stopped doing it as often, but we still did it.
Yeah, we used to be like, all right, bro. We used to be like, goodnight.
We would be like, goodnight, and you give a goodnight kiss. We used to say prayers together and all of that jazz.
Yeah, we said prayers, but we wasn't. The first time I went to a church and people was holding hands, I was like, oh, this is crazy.
That was my life. And you know,
I was like, y'all can hold hands to pray. Y'all can't just pray.
And it be seems like this one funky person.
Here goes my friend. She is so childish.
And you be trying not to. You don't want to hold their hand. Or you want to walk right by them at the end of the service. I'm not giving them no church. God, and that be the main one that's trying to hug you or hold your hand.
Definitely.
Church.
Church. My friend is the worst.
Them church days, I got a million memories.
Those are your vignettes.
Yes. But yeah, my kids were pretty low on the physical touch. One was 3%. And the other one was 5.
Oh wow, y'all don't play about it over there.
No, wait, the other one was 15, and so my little one, he's
15.
He was 15%, and so he positions himself to be loved on.
He's not gonna ask for it.
He doesn't like come out and ask me. He told me the other night. I asked him for a hug. He says, "Entanglement." Bruh. Why? No, I asked him for a kiss. And he said, entanglement?
What does that mean?
The children.
These kids will say anything.
He did give me a hug, though. He lets me kiss him. He's also, when you say I love you, sometimes he says it back. And sometimes he's like, okay. All right.
Now these kids love I love you.
Now, my oldest, I love you all the time.
Aww.
He'll apologize. That little one, he be real prideful.
He's just gonna sit there close
But I
enough.
need them to kind of give each other some of what the other has. You know, because it's like they're on different ends of the spectrum,
right?
And maybe too far. If they both could come in,
they're both on the extreme.
Yes, if they both could come in a little bit,
just a tad. I think I was surprised mostly that it wasn't just all gifts for the children.
I know, especially I was really surprised because my kids.
I just feel like they always want stuff. Like I get them stuff, and then they before they even really get into this thing, they talking about the next thing they want.
Right.
I'm like, bruh, get a job.
Something.
What?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, like, it has to do with what we're talking about, but because we're also high on the quality time. Mm-hmm. Now, this is something I don't think all parents get, but my kids don't mind me just coming in their room and sitting there and just taking up space with them. In fact, I think they enjoy it.
Especially for them to be older.
And they're on video games.
Yeah.
And I can just sit there and chill and hang out, or I'll get on the computer. They'll do what they're doing. And they never act bothered by my presence. And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, these kids definitely love quality time. Quality time and physical touch is happening here for these children. Because they, especially in this pandemic, their desire to be with me is borderline unhealthy at this point. I be like, all right, bruh. If I leave for 30 minutes, they calling. I'm like, I do have a job.
So my kids are like that. They want to know that I'm in the house. They don't have to be up under me. But if I leave, where you going? They're older. They can stay at home by themselves. Where you going? When you coming back?
Mind your business.
FaceTime me. Mom.
Yeah. Where you at? Leave me alone.
When you say you coming back?
How long are you going to be?
I already told you when I left.
Get up on my face. I need some time. Child.
I'm going to the store.
Girl, I done took to the bathroom.
I really did have to go to the grocery store the other day. I had to go anyways, but they had just annoyed me so much.
I understand.
I just walked around very slowly. So, yeah. Okay. Love languages. Do you guys know your kids' love languages?
Do you know your love language?
Do you know yours or your partner's?
And how do you feel about communicating your love language to the people that you need to communicate it to? Because I'm at the point where I'm going to be like, look, get these gifts out of here. Let's clean up this house.
I was talking to someone recently and we were talking about love languages, and they just went and took their love language quiz and sent it to me. I thought that was awesome.
That's cute. Get into it. Get into your love language. Let us know what it is and how it's affected you in your dating life and other relationships. Anything else? Any news this week? We're moving to Tuesday. Remember that. Don't forget it.
I don't have any. Nope.
Okay.
We're
Y'all,
good.
be blessed. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Love ya.
Bye.